in session. Um, I'd like to just watch this video and comment on some stuff where I may disagree or have just some further thoughts. I really like this guy. He's cool as hell. And, me and him are pretty much same age. And he's 54, I think. I'm 50. I've watched a couple of his videos. He's got a real good stuff. He's real introspective. I like that about him. He really thinks about things deep. He's really smart. Just a good guy, man. So check out his stuff. It's called Rediscovering Life After 50 with Ron. Looks like he's got a lot of followers too. And I saw the one where this lady asked him on a first date, and it wasn't for a dating app. He said it was in the wild. So, but he went through a real traumatic situation, and it's almost like him and I were dating the same girl. Maybe we were. No, I'm kidding, but but really, like when I was listening to it, he did a video, and check it out if maybe it can help you if you're in a situation. It's on narcissistic abuse, and he had some real good information about that. And when I was listening to that, I was like, dude, I went through that too, man. But anyway, where everybody has a different path or whatever. But we as 50-year-olds, we're wise men. We can, we're village elders. We can teach people our age, and we can teach younger people, and that's why a lot of times village elders are, the bosses in the tribes, right? But anyway, um, but yeah, so in 2018, I went through like a similar toxic relationship and got out of it that year, and took about 6 months off. And I said I was going to take a year off, but about after 6 months, I missed women. I love them, So buddy of mine said, try Bumble. I got on Bumble, and I started, tried Tinder, and me in 2018, I had a bunch of success. I loved it. I was having I call it my 304 phase. I was out there getting after it. Yeah, my body count. I'm not gonna flex. Yeah. Anyway, and it's not flexing at all, because it's not a flex to say you had sex with a girl, and not all of them were badass looking, and some were, some weren't. It's just the way it goes, right? But I was having fun just being around women. Most of them were just dates, and I've talked to thousands of women. But one thing I really did at that time, I found the red pill, and that changed my life. And I know people have preconceived notions about it. The red pill was good in 2018 to me, and then when COVID hit in 2020 and all, it got infiltrated by a lot of bad people. But if you are a true red pill, all the red pill is universal truth. Just like gravity. You can't, like gravity, you will fall. And women, let's just be friends. We all know friend zone. No, you don't get into that. We all know there's a dual mating strategy. If you've read the Bible or the red pill, and it's not the certified Bible. We call it that by Rollo Tomassi, rational male. We all know about hypergamy, dual mating strategy. You start learning all these things. And I was going in heavy. My first coach was Coach Corey Wayne. Started getting into his stuff. And he's pretty much aligned with red pill, basically, be a dominant, goal directed, assertive. He teaches the same thing that, red pill would. But then Rollo Tomassi kind of was like, very detailed. So then I started reading books. Atomic Attraction, you start, figuring out, what women are attracted to. And I read these books over and over and over. And that was a great book. Women like the 5 o'clock shadow, maybe a little bit more. Women love, the smell of a man, testosterone. CK1 cologne has pheromones. Sauvage has pheromones. There were just so much gems. Don't smile too much. It helped me. Because no one told us this. No one told us what women. It's kind of weird because no one teaches us this, right? So that's why I think it's important that he's out here doing it, Ron and myself, right? But. And then when I got into evolution of desire, human evolution, that there's so much, just clear, the ape that understood the universe, 48 laws of power, but more of ape that understood the universe, stuff like that, why we mate, Dr. David M. Buss, why women have sex. And again, evolution of desire, that was one of the key ones, if you understand why you're having sex, and what's going on in your mind and your body, and what's going on in a woman's body, and intersexual dynamics and intrasexual dynamics, it just clears up so much because, and then reading Rollo's book on religion. I mean, that kind of cleared it up for me. So, like I said, and I don't think he's read this stuff. I don't think he's studied this stuff. And I'm not saying I'm better or anything. And maybe he won't like it. And and I don't want to be going in hard on Ron. I'm not. I like the guy. I just have maybe something that people could think about, right? And so, because had I not done that work, and I know he's done a lot of work. He has, because he you can tell he's really, taking responsibility, accountability, and really gone inside and thought about things. But I mean, all that dating stuff, it just helped. And it was, then there's podcasters, Mr. Lucario, and, again, Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit, watching their stuff and watching how women, answer questions. That does help. Now, after a while, they start answering all the same. Kevin Samuels was a good one. He having those ladies on. Yeah, you just start. I mean, I was soaking it up. I loved watching the stuff, and I still do. I mean, this is a passion for me. That's why I started making videos to help men. But I want to just comment on some of the Ron stuff. I think that I have a little different perspective because of all my studies with that, and and maybe I'll take a little bit, put my ego up, but I'm I'm proud of what I've learned, and I'm big red pill, and I think I think it's the right way. I mean, I think there's a best practices. Doesn't mean that anyone's bad or I'm better. It's a best practice. I think if you go red pill best practices, I think your results will be better with women, and because women are totally, we're not taught how to deal with them, and they're totally different than dealing with a boss or dealing with your friend or dealing with a sister, because and that's not a sexual relationship, but you can't go into sexual relationships trying to be Mr. Nice Guy. Other relationships you can. It's good to be Mr. Nice Guy. It's good to help people out. It's good to give them what they want. But women are different. They're made different. It's an evolution thing, right? And if you view it from an evolutionary standpoint, everything starts making sense. Everything, And if you view sex as it's human mating, it's reproduction, then everything starts making sense. So. Having said that, and I will play the video, but I think this is important to get out, and I don't want, I love, I don't want people to think I'm going hard on him. I'm not, because I want the message to be good, because he puts out a good message, but I think there's some clarification on this. I really do. Let's go ahead and listen to what he has to say, and I'll give my opinion.
It stayed on my mind a lot longer than I expected. Not because it was amazing, and not because there were any huge red flags, and not because anything dramatic even happened. Actually, that's probably why it affected me so much. Because driving home afterwards, I realized something about myself that I hadn't fully understood until that moment.
And this is what I like about Ron. He really, guys, you got to do what he did. Look inside yourself. Look where you can improve. And this man right here, he can humble himself. This is why wise men are good. He humbles himself. He thinks inside himself. I like this a lot about him.
After I briefly mentioned some of it in another video, a lot of the comments kept focusing on the date itself and this idea of peace that I brought up in it. So I started thinking more deeply about why that experience stayed with me. It's hard to ignore, and I had to think about it because I read every comment. Honestly, I think it revealed how differently I look at connection now compared to.
And I saw his other video, and I'm just gonna, give one opinion here. And he seems like he struggles with his choice in wanting peace and wanting to date women, because they can upset your peace, and they can, right? But so he has fear in that regard, and I get it, right? So that's one thing where he's really scared about. But I just wanted to bring that up
Here in my life, because the truth is, I didn't leave that date thinking, wow, that was incredible. Actually, it was a lot more complicated than that. There weren't really any obvious red flags.
So he's going on a date, right? And he does seem to be conflicted with wanting to go on a date. And I wanted to say something before, but and I think this helps. And it's not that we're to get to the truth of ourselves. So if and I know dating is a problem. It's a you problem most of the time, And he talks about his last relationship. That was a you problem. It was, and he mentions that it was, but it's not. But you can't put anything on anybody else but you. It's a you problem. If you're having problems in dating, you got something you got to fix, and obviously he does. He's extremely, But again, but I think he does. But I don't think he takes full responsibility because he talks about women and they're upset his peace. But they can't upset your peace if you're if you have a strong identity of who you are, and I know he talks about self-respect, he talks about loving himself, stuff like that. You can say those things, but you got to know there ain't no moving this mountain. A man is a mountain. A man is not moved by a woman, and you have to be very solid on who you are. Because if a woman comes in and you get emotionally attached to her and all this stuff, but you got to recognize, but I don't care how attached you get to a woman, this is still daddy's house. And that's how you got to look at yourself. You're the gladiator. You're the freaking Conan the Barbarian. You're Rambo. You're James Bond. You're just what a superhero, right? Hercules, right? No one fucks with you. Nobody, a little 5'2" woman ain't going to mess with you, right? But we did. We've let them do that before, right? But what we have to do is level with ourselves. The one thing we got to level with ourselves is water, food. Let's start with there. Air, water, food, sex. Air, water, food, sex. They're needs, and we can't sit here. And I think he wrestled with this. Is he wants to say, "Well, I want my peace." It will still want women. Why do you think you're on here talking about a date? You still want women. You have to be okay. You have to level with yourself. I am going to want to, and you gotta level. I'm gonna want to bang women. I like banging women. I like connection with women, but I like banging them. And men, we have testosterone. If you don't have a strong sexual desire, you need to get your testosterone checked. I'm serious. And you should get on TRT. It'll make you feel amazing. It'll give you hard erections. But as a man, that's who we are. God put testosterone in us to want to go bang. And you can't, and this is a problem I had, and that's why I've done the work. But, because I was just as flawed in this area. I didn't like to admit that how much I did like sex because I felt like a pervert, Women, we live in a gynocracy, Women tend to run the narratives. And, what are you, pervert? Oh, no. That's why that word's so strong with men. And we'll beat around the bush and, no. And now, after reading Rollo Tomasi's book, Religion, and I think it's the book, it's the chapter on marriage. And he says one of the first sentences is there is no morality in sex. And after I read that, I just thought about it for a second, cleared it up for me. There is no morality in sex. It's just an action. Like going running. I'm going sexing. Women will try to shame you for it to get power, but you can't let them. And if you show that you're not going to let them, it has no power. Just like Nick Fuentes just recently. I don't watch too much of his stuff, but he was on Piers Morgan, and Piers Morgan called him a racist, and he owned it. Now whether he was or wasn't, I don't. That's up for debate. But when he owned what he was trying to call him, the air was sucked out of the power of that statement. Okay, yeah, I guess I am. Now, so if girls say, "Oh, you're a pervert for liking sex," whatever. But I like it. I am not going to be apologizing, and it shut him down right away. So that's one thing I don't know if Ron's wrestled with enough is admit you want girls, admit how strong you want girls, admit that you love banging them. And I'm not saying he's not, but you have to, admit that to yourself, because then you'll say it's okay that I want to date. It's okay that I want to disturb my peace. It's okay that I'm wrestling with disturbing my peace and meeting a girl. It's okay that girls are powerful in my life because they're beautiful and they're awesome. But they're not gonna get in the way of my mission. You know what I'm saying? But God put this testosterone on me. God made it just a need almost as strong as eating food and getting air. So it's okay that I may struggle with, wanting to date and or maintaining my peace. But so again, you have to be unapologetic by wanting to date women, knowing that they're awesome, and sex. You're not going to shame me about it. And real quick before I let it go, but in this date, a date, and real quick I'll say about a date. A date to me, and Psych Hacks, shout out Psych Hacks. A date is an opportunity for a woman to meet you, get to know you a little bit, see how you vibe, and there should be an opportunity for sex to happen at the end of that date. Women know what we want. I mean, if you're a man with testosterone and a correct amount, you should want to bang that woman on that date. And if she likes you a lot, she should want to bang you. Okay? Iron Rule Tomasi 3. If a woman is making you wait for sex, the sex is not worth the wait. Because if a woman has general burning desire, the same woman that makes you wait for sex is the same woman that'll bang the guy in the foam cannon party in Cancun 5 minutes after meeting him. So what that means is, if a woman has sexual urgency for you, it means that you're probably her alpha bang in a dual mating strategy. There's alpha bang and there's beta male provider. Okay? And you want to be the alpha bang. That's the guy that gets the guy that gets the woman's true soul, and she'll follow that guy. She'll submit to that guy. She'll imprint on that guy. She'll love that guy. There's going to be chemicals flowing through her body where she's going to just want to choose you, Anyways, keep listening.
She wasn't toxic. It wasn't hostile.
And by the way, here's the thing, and I will let it play, but here's the thing with men, and this is advice I give. Do not date any woman that doesn't have high interest in you. Only high interest. The problems we have in dating is that we as men can't recognize or do not recognize well women's interest levels. And it's because they're good at manipulating. And there's nothing wrong with women manipulating. It's an evolutionary trait. If you sit here and go, women manipulate, and they don't tell us stuff, it's because it helped them survive. Thousands of years ago, the ones that manipulated, the ones that were beating around the bush and wouldn't come out and say things. But why didn't you just tell me that? Because women are the vulnerable sex. And a lot of times men killed them for being dumb or whatever, saying something dumb. So the ones that can beat around the bush, and we don't know what they're thinking. They won't tell us exactly what they're thinking because they had to play psychological games. Otherwise, men could physically kill them, and there's no police department to put us in check. So, but the thing is that only go out with women. How do you know if a woman has high interest? You can tell if a woman has high interest if you tell her to do something and she cooperates with you. Just like a buddy, if you're a good buddy and he really wants to go hunting with you, you say, hey, I need you ready Friday. We're going to leave my house at 7. Okay. I got all the rifles. I got all, and cool. Yeah. I need you to bring, whatever, peanuts. Okay. The more you ask him to do, the more your buddy's going to do, is because he loves going hunting and he loves going hunting with you, with your cool guns or whatever. I'm just saying. So girls are the same way. And here's the thing. Girls are not going to tell you no, because if they have high interest in you and they say no about something and you get upset and you're like, yeah, just forget it. Now they lost the opportunity to be with you. So if women are telling you, no, I don't like that place, or here, take my number, or no, I'd rather go to drinks, or I'd rather go get ice cream, that's a woman that doesn't like you. She has to be following you. She has to be cooperating with you. And that's how you know if she has high interest. Is her urgency to go out with you, soon, is that priority? Because a woman's going to want to go out with you soon. Anyway, but you must go out with women with high interest. That takes all the red flags. Women that have high interest in you, they talk different. Women know how to behave and they know how to misbehave. Women don't treat all men the same. They misbehave with guys they don't like, and they behave with guys they like.
And I honestly don't think there was, bad intent behind any.
And here's the thing: women don't have bad intention or good intention. Women have intention. So do we. And she could call yours bad or good. If you want, when I go out with a woman, I want sex. First date, I want it real quick. She could call mine bad intention. It's my intention, though. It's my agenda. It's if your agendas align. That's all it is. You got to stop thinking about things in moral compass of morally good, morally bad.
But something about it just didn't feel natural to me.
Well, what that is, and I'm going to tell you probably what that is, and this is me dating tons of girls, is and studying it, is usually what that is y'all weren't attracted to each other. There was not enough attraction, because I guarantee you go in there and she's stripper looking, porn star looking hot, it's going to feel natural because you're going to be lusting after, and that's why God made lust. You know, there's nothing wrong with wanting to get sexy real quick.
And I couldn't stop thinking about why afterwards. Because
I just told you why, and I think I'm right. He doesn't talk enough about sex, but that's what drives us. We're not here to be friends with women. We're here to bang them. You know, I'm trying to keep it YouTube friendly. We're here to smash the crap out of them. You know what I'm saying? In a good way, you know? By the way, women love sex. And that's something a lot of men don't understand. Women absolutely love sex. And there's content on my channel that lets you know they love sex. They're freaks. Women are freaks, and they're freaks for the guys they want to be freaks for. No such thing as a 304. No such thing as a slut. She'll be a slut for you if you're the right one. You got to be the right one. Women don't treat all men the same. The same woman that will bang me like a freak and a hoe won't bang another guy like a freak and a hoe. And the same girl that won't, vice versa, basically.
Realized we weren't approaching the date the same way. No,
Well, and I'll say this. It's your job to lead the date. It's your job to lead. It's your job to lead everything. And that's what a lot of men don't like. It's your responsibility to, anything that goes bad on that date is your fault. Anything that didn't go the way you wanted it is your fault. You didn't lead it to where you want to go. And he's going to say something here real quick, and I'm going to let you know. But here's the thing, guys. Women are extremely sexual. I mean, a lot of men don't even know it. I don't think I know the half of, you know what I'm saying? But that's what's going to get them attached to you. Sexual attraction is the strongest attraction. Then you have resource attraction, which is a very far second. But if you have her sexually attracted to you, she's going to stay with you. Trust me. How do you know a relationship's going to end? When you broke up with girls, what ended up lagging? Sex. I'm guaranteeing. I know. I can say this for myself. Back in the day, all my relationships that were ending were sexless. By near the end, we all know that. So if they're sexless near the end, then what means they're good? You're having a lot of sex. Women love sex. They're so sexual. But our society, our Puritan society, and just women in general, they're supposed to lie about their sex. They're supposed to lie about how much they want it. They're supposed to lie about how sexual they are, you know. But I have a sister. I know what they talk about, you know.
Into it thinking, let's have a conversation. Let's laugh a little. You know, let's enjoy the moment.
See, that this is the wrong attitude, I believe. I think there's fear. This is the fear-based attitude. You know, it's like, let's go and put our toe in the water. I don't want to get hurt. I want to put my toe in the water. I hope it's not too cold. You know, jump in. Just jump in cannonball. No. I just want to. So that's what I think is going on here. And you know, figuratively, right? But that's not what a date is. You're a man. You're a man with testosterone rolling through your body. You should be able to get a hard on within like 2 or 3 seconds. Especially if it's a hot girl. If it's a hot girl, you should have a hard on at the table. Even at 50, 54, 50, whatever. This date needs to be about sex. You know? And I don't mean to be like, no. That's why men and women get together. That's why there's 8 billion people on the planet. It's okay that we want to have sex with women. You know, every other mammal species gets together to have sex and reproduce. So do we. Although we can have pleasure with it too. So we get a added benefit. But, so there needs to be flirting on all your dates. If there's no opportunity for sex and you don't feel like she's she's sexually attracted to you, then don't go on that date. But if a girl's highly interested in you, she'll be sexually attracted to you. So you need to flirt with them. If you don't know how, you need to go. Mr. Lucario is a good channel to watch. You can email me. I'll put my email in the description. But you got to know how to flirt. You got to know how to create that sexual tension. If you're not mentioning sex, it's the man's job to lead the date to sex. And women know this. Women are very, they know a lot that they don't tell us. They know it's our job they know, and by the way, they know when you're going on a date, they know you want to bang them. They know. They know that we're not friends. Trust me, I ask them all the time. And one thing that women would tell me that they're most frustrated about is guys that go, well, I'm not like other guys, I'm not here to have sex. They're like, they hear that lie all the time.
Slowly learn who each other are over time.
No, absolutely not. That's not how it works. Passion, intensity. Comfortable is boring. No woman wants that. No woman wants this. And she'll exploit you. A woman that really likes you, a woman that's highly interested in you, won't want it to go over time. Now, here's how you do start these things. They start over lust. It's going to be sex only in the beginning. It's F buddy time. She's going to be your F buddy. And if she's highly into you, she'll come over, you'll get together for a week, bang, and she'll leave, and then she'll want to come back again because she loves the way you banged her, and she has this feeling when she's with you, and you bang again, and she comes back over. You're not going on dates. And a girl I'm telling you, unless you live this life, a lot of people say, oh, that's not possible. Absolutely is possible. Absolutely is possible. I've lived it. That's why I love being single since 2018 to now. And my life has changed. No woman has ever come to my house since I've gotten, some, but I mean, very few. I bang every time. Every time. And that's when you're thinking, because they're highly interested in you. Women want it to be about sex too. They love it. They love it with guys that know how to have sex with them. And if they're highly into you, it's not about your skills. It's how aroused they are by you. They're about ready to have an orgasm when they pull up to your house if they're highly aroused by you.
But pretty early into the date, the conversation started moving into things that honestly felt way too serious for a first.
Well, see, here's the problem. Remember he said he had a bad relationship? And this is what he hadn't learned. This is what I had to learn. And it's just been recent. I've done a lot of work, and I'm not perfect. You work every day, right? You have to lead everything. This conversation, he says, it's not going the right way because he's not leading it. It's your job to lead the conversation. It's your job to lead the conversation. You're supposed to be flirting with her. You're 100% leading it. If she's asking you questions, you change that subject. You lead it somewhere else. Say, I don't want to talk about that right now. Hey, you got to learn how to. This is all skills. That's why a lot of guys want to make money and get status, and because this stuff here is an art. It's hard. And trust me, I've dated thousands of women. And I didn't say I had sex with thousands. I said I dated thousands. Talked to tens of thousands. Probably more than that. Anyway. And you learn how you have to do stuff. You have to lead it. And it sucks sometimes. You're like, dude, I just wish I would have to lead this time. Nope. If she's going to ask you and you're answering, the person asking the questions and go look at my text message videos I just did the other day. And you watch a woman school a man in communications. Because they know how to do this stuff. But she may be asking those questions because she wants a beta male. Because usually that means she's looking for a beta male provider. It does, kind of, sort of. But it may be because he's not flirting. He's got low energy because he does seem a little fearful. And she's not feeling the vibe. And she's just like, fuck it, because that's the easy conversation. And he's not leading it to a sexual vibe. So again, there's possibilities here. But if he didn't want us to go there, that's your fault that it went there. So right here, he doesn't know how to lead. He doesn't know how important his leadership is. And that's why his last relationship, and me included, all my relationships that ended is because I didn't lead right. He's not leading right. He needs to learn how to lead. And that's one thing he hasn't learned yet.
Finances, past relationships, questions about marriage.
You sidestep all of it. You do it funny, like, oh, what are you, the police? Hey, you frisking me? Oh, I think you need to, hey, I need to frisk me first. I might have a weapon here, and you can use sexual innuendo, depending, I got a big gun here. Don't feel that bolt is not a gun. That's not an Uzi or whatever. That's how you start having fun. Women want to have fun, and women also will know, oh, this guy likes to have fun. Oh, and he's not bending to my will. Come on, tell me you've been married. No. Sir, officer, I think I need my lawyer. Do I need my lawyer? And then you change the subject. Like, damn, I think I need a lawyer over here. Like act like you're going to get up and leave. Like, damn, I can, But anyway, and then you go, hey, anyway. And then you got to try to change the subject to something else. Not try. You do change the subject to something else. But say, I've got to talk about something else, And then ask her something. Hey, do you like the Rockets? Whatever. That's your job to lead it. If you want to be flirty, or if you just have to get, not crunk, but if you have to get assertive a little bit, like, Really, I'd rather not. I'm not going to talk about marriage and my job right now. Let's have fun. And then try to think of something fun. That's your job.
And even questions about whether I'd ever remarry again and how soon I
Once again, none of her business. Sidestep it. Do I need my lawyer? I told you how to do that.
into it.
That's your fault, though, Ron. You haven't learned how to do that yet. You got to learn how to lead, and you got to learn how to play. Women want to play. Girls just don't want to have fun. Oh, girls. And Ron, she's not having much fun right now. And I think Ron's too much in his head. I need my peace. I don't know. He's all worried about the date. Dating is fun. You got to have fun. They want to have fun. But if they're not going to have fun, they're going to start asking questions like this because women know what a beta male looks like.
And internally, I was thinking, wow, we barely even know each other yet.
Yeah, well, you should be talking about sex. You should be having a sexual vibe going on right now. Okay? And yeah, but you're not leading it correctly.
The thing is,
your fault.
None of those are bad conversations to have.
No, but it's your fault you're having them.
But talking about past relationships, talking about marriage, and talking about finances.
Yeah, and you haven't dated enough to learn to sidestep it and be funny about it. Trust me, I've had tons of conversations where I've had to do that. With reps, you get muscle memory. Stop acting. There's a lot of guys out here doing MGTOW and I need my peace, and that's fear. That's a fear. That's a cope. Men take risks. You're not going to get anything good in life unless you take a risk. Enter action with boldness. Law 28. And everyone honors the bold. No one honors the timid. This is timidity a little bit, I see.
Those are all things that naturally get answered over time if two people genuinely build a connection.
It is. I don't like this kind of speak. And again, you build sexual attraction, you build tension, and you bang. Why are we here? Why am I talking to a woman? Why am I talking to a woman across from me that has a vagina that accepts my penis? She has an organ built to accept this penis that I want to give to her. That should be what's talked about. That should be what's going on in this date. And that's where you should be leading it. It's a man's job to lead stuff into the bedroom. And every dating opportunity you go on should be an opportunity to have sex. We're not demanding it. We want her to want to have sex with us. Through the seduction, and you got to learn about seduction. You got to learn about flirting. You got to do a lot of work. I'm not saying him. I'm saying all of us.
And that's not the issue. The issue was the timing. Because to me, a first date,
it's your fault,
is really supposed to be about seeing if you even enjoy being around each other first.
False. See, he doesn't know about dating. There's so much he hasn't. Okay, the first date, a woman, it's about sex. Why are men and women? Why do I want to go out with? I don't need a woman friend. They have an organ that I really like that takes my penis, and she has orgasms that sound great and makes my testosterone go wild, and I get validated as a man because I had sex. A sexless man is a loser. It is. We've been trained to think that way. And here's the thing: the first date it's all about sex. Again, it's all about, that's what you are. You're a sexual being. Air, water, food, sex, and the fact that maybe you haven't accepted that yet is why you're having a date like this. And talking about, this sounds like a female. Connection? Get to know each other? Oh, hell no. We're to bang. And a woman wants you like that. A woman wants a man to... when they really like a guy, the women are like... And you're saying, it's about connection. Come on, man.
Can we laugh together?
No.
Can conversation flow?
No, I'm not. I'm here to bang a woman. I laugh with my guy friends and my soccer team buddies and my hockey team buddies. A woman is for sex. We can hang out a little bit, but here's the problem. We've been taught that we're supposed to be our best friend and then laugh with them. And these relationships end because we're spending way too much. They don't like us that much, and we don't like them that much. But we love having sex with each other. We gotta know this. We gotta be okay to say that.
Really Do we feel comfortable around each other?
You will feel, and here's the thing, you will feel comfortable around each other if you're feeling lust for one another. That's when the dates are the most fun. You're like, and you're laughing, joking, you got that sexual tension. So if you don't feel sexually attracted to somebody, leave that date or don't go on it.
Do we even enjoy each other's presence?
You will if you're sexually attracted to them.
Foundation.
No, it doesn't. You will if you want to bang them. All that's answered by banging them.
So when you skip past that part and immediately move into emotional, heavy conversations about the future,
that's your fault.
You can start feeling less like connect.
That's your fault. And you talking about this connection. This sounds like a female. I don't know what female therapist taught you this. It's sex. Sex first. You're a man with testosterone. Go get it checked if you don't have these horny feelings.
And more like pressure before you even get started.
There is no pressure. If you're a man of identity, you know where you stand. You know what you do. No woman moves you. Here's how I live. Here's how things are going to happen. And it's not going to change. There's no negotiation here. And if you don't like it, you can kick rocks. There's another woman right around the corner. You have to have an identity.
And again, I want to be fair about this.
You're very fair.
I don't think she was trying to manipulate.
She wasn't.
And I don't think that she was a bad person.
She's not.
I think she was trying to figure out whether we were compatible long term.
Yes, and she needs a leader. She needs a leader to lead her. Women don't want to take responsibility for the date. They want to take responsibility for the conversation. And maybe you weren't leading the conversation well enough to where that's why she took it there. Women will take it there. She's not a bad person. Women are great.
Honestly, I understand, why people do that now, especially later in life. But at this age, most people have already been hurt. They've already invested years into the wrong relationships. They've already dealt with divorce, with betrayal, disappointment, and even loneliness. So there's this pressure to figure everything out quickly.
Wrong. And if they want to do that, that's fine. They can try. Women don't, but see, I don't think you understand women. Women don't want to figure out things quickly. Women operate on feelings. If she's asking questions like she was, then you're a beta male provider, and you don't want that woman. You want the woman operating on her feelings and her emotions for you. A woman doesn't fall in love with you. She falls in love with the way you make her feel. And I'm going to say that again. A woman doesn't love you. If she doesn't fall in love with you, she won't love you. She can't. She only can love herself. However, you will benefit from that. A woman doesn't fall in love with you. She falls in love with the way you make her feel. A woman doesn't love you. She falls in love with the way you make her feel, your presence. I've dated girls, when they come over, or when they come in my presence, they smile ear to ear, they hug me, they want to be on me, they want to bang me, they stare at me. I mean, it's a weird, if you ever, guys that may listen to this video, a woman will stare at you with this weird, it's almost annoying. It's a gaze. They like you that much. And when you get a woman like that, she wants to be around you all the time. She doesn't want to disturb your peace. Say, hey, babe, you're daddy to her. You're her king. You're her chief. You have to find a woman that has that much interest in you and that much respect for you, that you command, you don't demand. That she understands when daddy says no, it's no. When King Daddy says no, and I'm not going to. We have to understand. You have to understand your King Daddy to a woman. If she doesn't allow you to do that, I don't even say allow. If she doesn't accept that, she's gone. Kick rocks. The quote in Heat: "Don't be afraid to or never commit to anything you can't leave within 30 seconds or less when you feel the heat coming around the corner. 30 seconds or less, out of here, bitch." All right.
But it's almost like people are trying to protect themselves from wasting more time.
No, I think you're in the fear mode and you're in big protect mode. And instead of being in protect mode, you need to be in interaction with boldness mode. And you need to understand women more. You need to understand yourself more. So that when you date a woman that's treating you right, you're good. When you're dating a woman that starts treating you wrong, this is a man that demands respect, or commands respect, actually. And if I don't act right, I can kick rocks. I mean, it's that easy. Go have fun. And women that and a woman should have sexual urgency to have, and that woman will treat you right. If a woman makes you wait for sex, the sex is not worth the wait. It's about genuine burning desire. You can't negotiate for that. You can't sit there and, what do you want to do? Let's have connection. You don't create general burning desire that way. General burning desire for you is going to be the key to sticking your relationship together and the key to it falling apart. The minute that woman doesn't have genuine burning desire for you, she doesn't give two shits what you do. And the woman you had a problem with, narcissistic abuse, she didn't have genuine burning desire for you. She did. And when they don't have that, they have contempt for you. They're disgusted by you. And I've been that person, But if they have genuine burning desire for you, they won't do anything to disrupt that.
And I get that. But sitting there that night, I realized, something very important about myself. I'm not trying to rush anything anymore.
It's not about rushing it. You should just have fun. And you're not getting it. We're not getting any younger. And women are awesome. I would not want to go. I would not want to die tomorrow, and not have, had a woman in my life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and or not taking an opportunity to have a woman. They're beautiful people. They're awesome people. And if you know how to deal with them, it's like a snake handler. Seriously. I mean, you and me with a king cobra, we'd be like, oh fuck, it got bit me, we're dead. But a snake handler's like, no man, it's like this. You go like this, and they do it with precision. Women are like they are the serpent and Adam and Eve. They are though. And you got to be a snake handler. That snake can't bite you because you know how to deal with it. You know how to be a snake handler. There's guys out here, and I was this guy. I was just like Ron here, and I got bit several times by king cobras until I got good. They can't bite me now. I see their games, But if they like me enough, dude, if they have genuine burning desire for me, Iron Rule of Tomasi 3. If she makes you wait for sex, the sex is not worth the wait, because the same girl that makes you wait for sex is the same girl that'll bang the guy in the hot foam cannon party 5 minutes after meeting him.
And maybe part of that comes from life experiences. Maybe part of it comes from surviving narcissistic abuse.
See, but you got to get out of that. You're hanging on to this narcissistic. You're hanging on to your last relationship, like in Top Gun. Let it go, man. You got to let it go. It happened to you, and I had same shit go on with me. So bad. I've lost, and I tell guys on my channel, I've lost everything, and I got it all back because I enter things with boldness. And any mistakes made through audacity, you can correct them with more audacity. But men live life with boldness. Not this, I don't want to get my toe in the water. Well, you're never going to find the right girl that way. You're gonna have these kind of conversations. Well, when do you want to get married? Instead of having that, you're trying to touch her. And I mean, in a good way, right? Rub her back. And anyway.
Emotional pressure feels like over long periods of time. But I think a lot of it simply comes, from getting older and realizing that healthy connection has a natural pace to it.
Wrong.
It develops.
Sex first. If she doesn't have a sexual desire for you quickly, you're done. Women know if they want to have sex with you within milliseconds. Google it. Within milliseconds. Now, it moves. So a woman will scan you with their eyes, and they'll know right away. Milliseconds. It reaches their, some court, I think, anyway. But no, it's milliseconds. And then within about 3 seconds, she knows if she's really going to bang you. That's what God did for us. Within 5 minutes, she's for sure knows if she wants to bang you or not. She knew within 5 minutes of that date, for sure or not. Easily. No, God didn't make it. If God didn't make it this fast for us to have sexual relations, we wouldn't have 4 billion or 8 billion people. He wants a lot. He wanted us to survive. He wanted us to thrive. This kind of connection, this female, I don't know where you got this feminine talk from, but it's not good for men.
Julie, there's room to breathe in it. Room for curiosity, room for silence, just room for two people to naturally learn each other over time.
Wrong. You should be banging, learning, and you should be vetting her. And if she's not cooperating with you, if she's not doing what you tell her to do, because you're daddy and you're king and you're the boss, seriously, then a woman who's cooperating with you and doing what you tell her is the one you keep. That's it. It's that simple.
Honestly, years ago,
you're complicating it, Ron.
I probably would have.
If she's not cooperating with you, she doesn't like you. If she's cooperating with you, she likes you.
That entire conversation very differently. I probably would have thought, wow, she's serious. She knows what she wants. This must mean the connection is strong. But now I see things differently.
The girl that really likes you will be blowing you on the way home. I mean, it's about sex. She'll be, going back to your house and doing it doggy style and giving it to you like America. She's trying out for America Got Talent, and that's my new phrase. She needs to be having, enthusiastic sex, passionate, intense. That's how you know. How did you know how'd you know on a lot of your dates, even back in the day, I was in the 90s, and you kissed them at the end. They allowed you to kiss them really good. That's how you knew she really liked you. And we have more trust, then the relationships would go on longer. Now, we moved to sex.
Emotional intensity and emotional safety are not the same thing. In that realization,
this is all the gobbledygook speak. This is all psych speak. In my opinion, it's trash. No, she needs genuine burning desire for you. She needs to know that she needs to have that feeling of, I'm sexy, I'm attracted to him. And when you come around, you give her that feeling, because she's not going to be in love with you. She's going to love the way you make her feel your entire life. She has to love the way you make her feel, and she'll stay with you until death do you part.
Changed the way I experienced that whole day. For the first time, I noticed myself valuing emotional steadiness more than emotional urgency.
No, you're living in fear mode. You're fearful. You need to be in sexual urgency. Sexual urgency. This is backwards.
I realized that I no longer...
God did not put us together to be friends or mates or partners. He put us together to be reproductive partners, and He allowed women to have a manipulative way to keep us there because they need us there. Okay? So, God brought us together to have sex. That's why men and women get together. That's why all men and female and male animals get together. Not for this emotional... No, you've been influenced by a woman somewhere.
Connection to feel emotionally heavy right from the very beginning. I don't want conversations that feel like interviews for a future role in some...
Then your job is to lead it to a flirty sexual conversation, because that's when women are having the most fun. Women who are not being sexual with the man, and they're not flirting with the man on the first date, second date, they don't like you. And they want you to. Some want you to. Some want you to lead it there. But you got to learn to lead these conversations. You got to learn to lead every situation. And you should almost have it planned out. You know how everything's going to go. Because you led it there.
Before two people have even figured out whether they genuinely enjoy each other's company.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if two people figure it out. It matters if you figure it out. It makes it that simple. So you got to simplify this. Do I, Ron, like this person? Am I, Ron, doing what I want to be doing with this person? So here's Steve. There's Ron. I like Ron a lot. But Steve wants to bang this girl. He wants her to have sexual urgency for him. And if she doesn't, by the end of that date, I'm not interested anymore. I'm not. She didn't have enough urgency for me. She would... women break the rules for alphas. They make the rules for betas. She didn't break any rules for me. That's just the way I roll.
And honestly,
but if I get what I want, it does. Then and she's still coming around doing what I tell her to do. Then that's all I need to know. And when I'm not getting what I want in the relationship, and that's anything in life as a man. If I'm not getting what I want out of something, I'm out.
I think modern dating has started losing all of that.
There's no such thing as modern dating. There's no such thing. Modern dating is modern human reproduction. Women are made to take our dicks.
Ability to simply let connection unfold naturally.
This sounds like a woman.
Now everything feels accelerated.
It should be. If she really likes you, and you really like her, if you're not meeting people like that, where you feel things, you want to get with them, and you want to make you really have strong. If you're lusting after somebody strong, you're gonna have strong feelings for them, and it's gonna build. Lust first.
Certainty immediately. Compatibility immediately.
No.
Commitment immediately.
No. That's not how things work.
Answers immediately.
And by the way, there's a lot to learn, man. You got a lot to learn. Women don't want commitment immediately. That's just something they use to manipulate us. Women love their freedom, and men love their freedom. If we all wanted commitment, Ron, dude, we're at like 16% of people getting married. We're down from like 75%. We're way down. No one's committing.
That's all instant gratification. You can't.
And that's okay.
There's no future.
There is. You're 54. You need to be instantly gratifying yourself, not in a negative, not in a dangerous way. But you only got one life, dude, and it's okay because you're a moral person. I can tell Ron's a moral person, a person with integrity, a person with a moral compass, a person with honor and respect for other humans. So if you instantly gratify yourself by getting a blowjob, nothing wrong with that, because you respected that woman and you liked her.
But I understand why.
No, you don't. You're really off backwards. I'm sorry.
Sometimes that pressure destroys the very thing that people are looking for. Because real connection usually grows in smaller moments.
False. All this is false. All this. I wish I could sit down with it, but all this is false. No. Your best relationships will be lustful, will be passionate and intense, and if you know who you are as a person, and you know your values, okay? I don't do that. You tell them, I don't do that. I do that? I don't. Let's have sex without a condom. No. Ron doesn't do that. Let me go to Las Vegas on a girls' night. Well, no, my girls don't do that. And it's not, if you do that, I don't do that. My girls don't do that. So if she does it, then boom, you're not my girl.
Relaxed conversations.
Wrong.
The random laughter.
Wrong.
The comfortable silence.
See, this is the thing. You think girls want to do that. They don't. Girls have sold us lies. They don't like being around us. The more we're around them, laughing, no. I'll do that with my guy friends. I want my girl for sexual, and again, we can go out, we can grab something to eat, but we both should be turned on by each other. We both should have genuine burning desire. Because that's the feelings we both want. Feelings. She has to feel a certain way about us.
The feeling that you can simply exist around someone without constantly trying to move the relationship forward, everything.
There's no move. A woman's going to move it forward. And you decide if you're okay with that. That's it. If you're not, then you say, no, I'm not okay with that. I'm going to keep dating. We date around. Oh, I don't like that. That's okay. I don't do it that way. We're not monogamous yet. Okay? So I need you to be quiet or go home. I mean, this is how you do stuff. Your daddy. How would your dad handle you? You know what I'm saying? That's how you handle a woman. If you're going to keep talking to me, you can go ahead and go home. Because I'm done talking about that. We don't argue with women. Win through law number 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. You take action. You don't ever argue with a woman. Ever. Ever again.
Minutes. And honestly, I think that's ultimately what affected me the most afterwards. Not that the date was terrible, and again, not that she was a bad person, but the experience made me realize that I no longer want connection to feel, forced, rushed, or emotionally.
If you're the man, you're leading situations, nothing's rushed. Everything goes on your timeline. This is what you got to understand. You're daddy. Everything goes on you. But you got to be the man worthy of taking on that responsibility. Can you say no? Can you kick her out? Can you kick yourself out? Can you, you're daddy. Everything goes on your timeline. Fuck her timeline. Fuck anyone else's timeline. You're a fucking man. You do shit on your terms.
Loaded right from the very beginning. Because the truth is, the inner peace that I've fought to rebuild in my life is not something I'm willing to give up again.
If you own your masculine frame, and no one, when the big bad wolf comes knocking at that door to kill you and your kids or your family, that's how you fight a woman. You ain't gonna move this dude. I mean, you don't move, and women admire strength, and they're disgusted by weakness. And the state, because I told you in your narcissistic abuse video, I lived that relationship just like you did. I was the same way, and they get disgusted. They were disgusted by you and I, because we were pushovers, and we led by 1,000. We died by 1,000 concessions, just like you said in that video. Keep the peace, walking on eggshells, and we were seen as pathetic pussies by them. They honor strength, and if you show weakness, they'll exploit it like nobody's business.
Made that mistake before, and I paid a very heavy price for it.
Yeah, I can tell. You're still wearing the fear.
A price that eventually led me to sitting on that date in the first place.
Yeah, because you got fear, and it's never good to operate from a place of fear. You over catastrophize the consequences, and you need to get rid of that fear and understand that women are great people. Find women that are highly interested in you, that align with your values, and understand I'm daddy, and ain't shit happening in this relationship or this situation without me approving it. And if you don't like it, you can go ahead and kick rocks over there. Thank you very much. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. If you run things on your terms and your way, you'll never be upset ever again. And that's going to make women leave your life. It's going to make people leave your life. But as a man don't care. A man is independent. He needs help a lot of times from the tribe, but he's also a man that can be independent at times.
It's part of getting older too. You start realizing that nobody else can give you peace, and nobody else can give you happiness, and nobody else, can give you self-respect. All of those things, each of us has to build within ourselves first. But someone else can absolutely fit into that piece.
Mm-hmm.
They can add to it.
It's up to you to decide how they fit into that piece. Daddy Ron's gonna figure it out. And if you don't like the way I fit you into my piece of life, then get the fuck out of here. Tell her, get the fuck out of here. You don't belong here. This is the only way you're gonna exist with me. Okay, well, and if she likes you enough, she values you enough. Okay, Daddy. I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm sorry.
And even contribute to it. Or they can slowly disturb it.
No, they can't. No, they can't. No, because they're out of there. You're out of, dude. No, because you're gonna cut the commitment quick. You're gonna cut the relationship that fast. Boom, done. You disobeyed me. You didn't follow what Daddy told you. This is Dad. I mean, I'm serious. I say it like this, but you gotta. This helps you visualize what I'm trying to say. I am exaggerating it, but Daddy told you what the fuck's going on, and that's what the fuck is going on. That's what the fuck we're doing. And it don't change. The plans didn't change, bitch. You do, one more happen again, you're out. Now, no ultimatums. It's, all right, warning. Next time, out.
I think after enough life experience that you become much more aware of the difference.
Anyway, he only got, 40 seconds? But I'm going to end it here. But, Ron, I love you, dude. But I think you're off. I think you're way off on this stuff. I think, anyway, I gave my piece on this. This video's, and again, This is a disagreement me and Ron have. I mean, whatever. He doesn't even know who I am, but I'm just saying. Maybe if he ever finds it, maybe he won't. But I like him. I think he's awesome, dude. I think he's putting out good stuff. I think he's real introspective. I love the way he thinks inside himself. But I think that your relationships aren't going to improve. You're not going to improve with your dating if you don't take on what I'm telling you to do. You know, best practices. Because we all love women, and we all love sex, and we have to unapologetically love it like that. And no one's going to shame us, and no one is going to tell us as a man who the fuck we are and what the fuck we're going to do ever again. That's what you got to own. All right, see you on the next one.